How are you today?
I'm actually a bit nervous. I'm not sure what it's going to be like in a space where I'm allowed to be a mess. I'm still struggling having this being all about me, obviously. I've been thinking a lot about what we spoke about in our last session, and when I'm really honest with myself, I'm not as fine as I thought I was. I'm worried. I'm worried I'm going to be burdensome for you.
What do you mean, burdensome?
I don't know, like I want to be this nice and easy, chilled person. And I'm afraid that when you get to know me, you'll think I'm hard work.
And where does this ideal of being so nice and easy come from?
I don't know, really. I think I've always felt like I need to be easy ever since I was little. I think it goes back to what I was telling you about last time with my brother being sick when we were children, and he's fine nowadays, by the way. But he was in and out of hospitals, and it was so stressful for my poor parents who were always on alerts. I basically tried to stay out of the way and not be a burden to anyone. I was helpful and quiet and, yeah, fine. And my parents would always say things like, "Oh, Junie, you're always so helpful." And when they'd talk to their friends, I'd hear them saying how easy I was. And I liked that. I wanted to be easy.
So the family had a fire to fight. There were limited resources, and you didn't want to add to the fire. You wanted to help, to do what you could to make it better for the family and stop the smoke from going into the other rooms. That makes sense.
Well, I wasn't really aware of it at the time, but yes.
What did being easy cost you?
Never really thought about it like this before, but if I had a need, it felt like too much. Too big of a burden for them on top of everything that they were already dealing with. So I would just sweep it under the rug. And I know it sounds weird, but I'd actually rather just keep my difficulties to myself. Like, I know how to handle my stuff, and it means that I don't have to burden anyone else with it.
And what did sweeping your needs under the rug cost you?
Well, it cost me being able to lean on others, I guess. And I think I don't take my own needs very seriously. And it's clear that I struggle even in my own therapy to take up space to talk about myself. I think that's part of why I started therapy in the first place. Sometimes I just feel like I got too much on my shoulders that I can't share with anyone else. But then I'm so deeply aware of how easy I've got it in the grand scheme, and I feel heavy and useless and angry at myself for struggling.
I want to try a language shift. We'll hold two truths without erasing either. We'll use and, not but. Finish this. I'm grateful and.
I'm grateful and I felt unimportant. Whew, that felt kind of wrong to say.
That's because the old rule was only one person gets the hard part. Let's try another. My parents loved us, and.
My parents loved us and there wasn't much left for me sometimes.
One more. My brother suffered, and
My brother suffered, and it was hard for me too. I hate that sentence. It sounds so selfish.
it sounds honest. And doesn't steal from him, it adds you back in. When you were little, being fine helped you to cope when there wasn't much attention to go round. It was a coping mechanism. Now, some of the things that we do to cope when we are small need to be adjusted as we get older. And when we still think that they're helping us, our brains don't automatically adapt to them. Things are very different now from when you were a little girl. And attention isn't such a scarce resource anymore. Sweeping your needs under the carpet and being fine all of the time isn't serving you. Let's work to change it. You can still keep your sense of perspective and gratitude and let your own difficulties take up some space.
I can still be kind and let myself exist.
If the old way of thinking is always putting others first and disregarding yourself, what can your new way of thinking be in a short sentence?
Others natter and I natter.
I like that. One more piece. If guilt shows up when you ask for something, what could you say to the guilt?
I'd say, thanks for trying to put out the fire, but we're safe now. The house isn't burning. And also, I get a turn.
For our next session, I'd like you to complete these 3 lines and use these exact starters. I was easy and we were a family and I was proud of helping and.
Okay. I think I already know what my third one is gonna be, but I'm not ready to say it here now.
Okay, bring it next time. We'll start with that.
If I write it down, then I can't pretend that I don't know it.
Well, I guess that's the point.
Right. Then I'll write it down. See you next week, Maya.
See you next week, June.